Amy Roloff's husband, Marek, hospitalized in critical condition. A heartfelt update. I will explain everything. In the world of reality television, few families have felt as real and close to our hearts as the Roloffs. From the early days of Little People, Big World to the personal milestones they've shared with their viewers, we've watched them grow and evolve. But today, we find ourselves standing with them through a time of great uncertainty. Amy Roloff's life with Marek has been one of love, patience, and shared dreams. From their first meeting to their wedding and beyond, they've proven to be a true partnership. But now, Chris is facing an unexpected health crisis that has left everyone in shock. 2016 was a transformative year for Amy Roloff. After years of raising her children and building a legacy with her ex-husband Matt, Amy found a new chapter in her life when she met Marek. A professional photographer, Chris was drawn to Amy not only for her strength, but also for the kindness and grace she exuded. When I first met Chris, there was an instant connection. We just clicked, and I felt like it was a new beginning for me, a fresh start that I didn't know I was waiting for. Amy and Chris' relationship was a beacon of hope and happiness, not just for them, but for their fans too. Their love story unfolded on television, inspiring so many of us to believe in second chances. Marek is not just Amy's partner. He's a quiet, steady presence in the Roloff family. He has always supported Amy through the ups and downs of life, particularly after her divorce from Matt. He embraced not just Amy but her children, building his own meaningful relationships with each of them. While many knew him from Little People, Big World, Chris's true character is reflected in his everyday actions, the way he supports his wife, the way he steps in as a father figure for Amy's kids, and his unwavering presence in their lives. Then, just a few weeks ago, the unexpected happened. Marek, the man who's always been the rock of his family, was admitted to the hospital in critical condition. His sudden health scare has shocked everyone, leaving Amy, their children, and fans across the world holding their breath. Sources confirm that Marek, the husband of Amy Roloff, star of Little People, Big World, has been hospitalized and is currently in critical condition. His family is asking for privacy during this difficult time, as they focus on his care and recovery. With so many unanswered questions and little information available, fans have been left in the dark, anxiously awaiting updates. The entire Roloff family is now facing the greatest challenge they've ever had to endure together. As any loving family would, Amy and her children have rallied around Chris in his time of need. Though the uncertainty weighs heavy on them, their bond remains unbreakable. Amy has shared that, despite the difficulty, she is doing everything she can to stay strong for Chris, for their family, and for their future together. Thank you to everyone who has been sending love and support. Chris is strong, and we are all staying hopeful. We just need some time to process everything, and we appreciate your understanding and your continued prayers. The love and resilience Amy shows are reflected not just in her words, but in her actions. She continues to update fans, keeping them in the loop while balancing the intense emotions of having a loved one in critical condition. The response from fans has been nothing short of heartwarming. Thousands have poured their hearts out on social media, sharing messages of hope and encouragement. The Roloffs, who have touched so many lives over the years, are now receiving that love in return. Fans' messages. Fan 1. Sending all my prayers to Chris and the Roloff family. You're all in my thoughts during this difficult time. Fan 2. We're all rooting for Chris. Stay strong, we believe in you. The Roloffs have always been open with their fans, allowing us to witness their joys and sorrows. Now, in their time of need, the community they've built is surrounding them with love, making sure they know they are not alone. As of now, Chris' condition remains critical. Amy, her children, and their closest friends are by his side, offering him the love and strength he needs to fight through this challenging time. Despite the uncertainty, there's hope that Chris will recover and come back to the life he's worked so hard to build with Amy and the Roloff family. The The road to recovery will undoubtedly be long and challenging, but if anyone can face this battle with strength and resilience, it's Chris Marek. And if anyone can support him through it, it's the Roloff family, the same family that has always stood by each other, no matter what life throws their way. We may not know exactly what the future holds for Chris, but one thing is certain: the love and support of Amy, their children, and all of us will never waver. Through every high and every low, the Roloff family remains inspiration, showing us what true strength, love, and community really mean. More update: Amy Roloff and Chris Marek's dream home. And Amy admits Matt's construction on the family farm feels empty after his fallout with their kids. And Amy Roloff says she feels relieved as she moves out of family farm to new house post-divorce. Amy Roloff says she feels relieved as she moves out of family farm to new house post-divorce. Amy Roloff is saying goodbye to the family property where she and her loved ones have spent the last 3 decades. After her divorce from ex-husband Matt Roloff was finalized nearly 4 years ago, the matriarch will be starting a new chapter and making more memories in a new residence. Wednesday, The Little People. Big World actress took to Instagram to share a behind-the-scenes look at her transition from Roloff Farm. She admitted that leaving had been a mixed bag of emotions. "My Ford Escape is my favorite vehicle. It has helped me move many times and more. Be that as it may, I'm a Ford girl. The process of transporting my belongings from the country property to my new residence is going swimmingly." She captioned an image of her car's trunk, filled with parcels and household items, with, "And it's back and forth, back and forth." She added, "Yeah, I'm doing most of it myself, after 30 years. When asked about her role as a stay-at-home mom to her 4 grown children with Matt, twins Zach and Jeremy, daughter Molly, and youngest son Jacob. "As I reminisce, a flood of recollections from the many experiences I had at home with my 4 children comes rushing back to me. Although purging has been challenging, I am relieved that it is now over. Certainly, I want to get more done after I settle into my new house and begin to wonder, why did I pack this?" Felix, her loyal feline companion, has been accompanying her on her moves, but Felix never leaves my side. "I think he wants to make sure I don't leave him behind," she said, referring to her dog. "What that little guy doesn't know is not at all what's best for me." Although Amy, 55, has felt a wide range of emotions along the way, she is hopeful because she can see some light at the end. "I am relieved to finally see the end of the long process of moving, cleaning, and settling into my new house." Joyfully, Amy shouted, "Woohoo!" "There are moments when I can't decide whether to sob uncontrollably or shout out in joy. For sure, I am relieved. Much more to discover, much more to prepare, and much more to be thankful for." She has also had the support of her fiancé, Chris Marek, as she has adjusted to life after her divorce. "Chris is always there for me, offering encouragement and a helpful hand." She made the comment about her future husband, saying, "He has been amazing. I am confident that I will meet my deadline of the end of February now that I can see the light at the end of the tunnel." Oh my goodness. Just one day before the new Little People Big World video was revealed exclusively, Amy took to Instagram to share her story of leaving the farm. While discussing Matt's closeness, Amy confides in a confessional, saying, "I don't think it's working for me anymore that he's just 500 feet away from me." Her next words to Matt are, "I'll just go ahead and do the buyout." Matt, 58, and his relationship with Karen Chandler, Roloff farm manager, will be the center of attention in the upcoming season. When Karen says to Matt, "I'm here for the long haul," Matt says, "My goal is eventually to get married to Karen." Their scene ends with this exchange. "Since we'll be spending time together, Karen thinks we're all trying to overcome our problems. No matter what we do, there will probably always be some awkwardness, but we just have to roll with the punches and things will get better." While Amy and Matt work through their divorce, the ex-couples are also dedicated to maintaining harmony within their families. Currently, Matt and I are trying our best to take care of family things, as Amy puts it. I know Matt and I are determined to make it work well post-divorce because this is family, even though it's not easy. Amy admits ex-Matt's construction on the family farm feels empty after his fallout with their kids. Amy Roloff is speaking out about how the famous Roloff farms no longer provide her the same joy as they used to. Little people, big world. Roloff met up with her friends Lisa and Deb for a drink in Portland, Oregon, to catch up. At the restaurant, the TLC star opens up on how her former family farm has changed significantly because her ex-husband Matt and his fiancée, Karen Chandler, are building a new house there. I noticed that he's building on the property, Deb says to Amy, alluding to Matt. Yeah, replies Amy, a big house. Then Lisa asks, how does that change the dynamic on the farm? When you arrive and suddenly find this enormous mansion there, do you think it's odd? It's like a completely different life, Amy says after a brief pause. There's something hollow about it. There is no life in it. She implied that the relatives of her children would have desired to visit the property, stating, this could have been the next generation. Molly, 30, a 27-year-old daughter named Jacob, and the 33-year-old twins Zach and Jeremy are the 4 children she and Matt had together. Her words, that the family is broken just saddens me, go on. In the confessional-style video that follows the scene, Amy states, when a family goes through a major event like Matt and I getting divorced, and then the farm not working out, yeah, you do feel like something has broken. She continues by saying, you have a choice. Is there a technique to help it heal? And how long do you keep it broken? It will take some time. Amy has since remarried Chris Marek, and the two have been searching for a retirement residence. Matt and his fiancée built their dream home and opened a short-term vacation rental on the farm after first trying to sell that portion of the land. Later, when he disclosed that he would leave the farm to his ex-wife rather than any of his children in the event of his death, he caused a family uproar. Zach declined to discuss his father's engagement to Chandler on camera, and Matt said in the season 25 teaser that he doesn't regularly see his son and his wife Tori. Matt remarked, we don't see Zach and Tori that often, referring to his son and his spouse, who have 3 daughters together. I think they must have made some sort of pact that they don't want to come to the farm. Zach continued, the temper is pretty high between my dad and me and Karen. Zach announced that he is officially departing Little People, Big World, and that season 25 would be his final episode during a February episode of his podcast, Raising Heights, which he co-hosts with his wife Tori, Amy Roloff and Chris Marek's dream home. After Amy Roloff sold the massive mansion on the Roloff farms, she downsized. Her and Chris Marek's humble abode paled in comparison, but they had big plans for their future house. Both she and her husband were said to be actively looking for a new home in July of last year. Chris has grand aspirations and Little People, Big World viewers know that his current home is far from his ideal. On Tuesday, TLC viewers got to see them investigate a potential retirement home. In 2021, after Matt and Chris were married, his ex-wife moved into Chris's $600,000 mansion. As Matt gradually turned the former residence into a rental property, his ex-wife raised an eyebrow. Since then, he has built a new, perfect home for himself and his fiancée, Karen Chandler. How did that make Amy's husband feel about looking for a more luxurious house? Amy Roloff is facing accusations from Lpbw supporters who claim she conspired with Chris Marek, Matt Roloff, and Karen Chandler to create drama. Well, if they want to keep the TLC program going, they might as well keep doing it if buying their dream house is in their future. Even with their combined net worth, the property they desire may be too expensive to purchase and maintain. While filming Little People, Big World, the bicycling TLC star was seen touring a potential new house. He thinks his wife would be content cooking by herself. In addition to the 6-car garage, which could easily accommodate an entire row of motorbikes, He went on to say that the idea was to combine a living space with a gathering spot. Having all the grandkids over for the holidays would be absolutely no problem at all. Even though Amy Roloff gushed over the 10,000 square foot house, she was hesitant to spend the money necessary to purchase it. According to her, taking a look at this house has eased my concerns that it may be somewhat out of our price range. If Little People, Big World's mom falls in love with the massive kitchen, she might use it to continue Amy's little kitchen, according to Marek. He thinks that postponing a rejection is the way to go. He thinks that after we decide whether we like it, the first thing to do is figure out how to pay for it. He did, in fact, bring up Matt and Karen's perfect house. Given the size of the room, Amy may worry that too many people would jostle around. Nonetheless, the fantastical landscapes are really beautiful. Another factor is that she had lived in a large house before, so it's safe to assume that she'll settle into her new home quickly. Do you remember the amount of belongings that Mum stored in the old farmhouse on the farm? Lovers of hers dubbed her a hoarder. Someone on Reddit who uses the hashtag #LittlePeopleBigWorld said they found the house based on Marek's description. Assuming that is true, this is not an inexpensive home. As part of their statement, they said, A and C were told that the house they looked at would cost around $1.4 million. Zillow had just one picture of the property, but Realtor had numerous. I won't tell you the exact location because it was so easy to figure out. Is Marek's dream house something you're interested in? If so, what are your thoughts on it? In your opinion, is Amy Roloff justified in being wary of a property of this size? After all, they intended for it to serve as their retirement residence. But she stated her intention to delay working until she was 85 in order to cover the costs. Amy Roloff shares surviving week of havoc. Little People Big World star Amy Roloff got through the worst week of her life. To her massive fan base, she lately supplied status reports on all the current events. So, what did she say about what had happened? Even though it's a new year, winter lingers in many American cities and villages. In places like Texas, cold fronts are as prevalent as rain and storms. While the Midwest and northern regions are seeing more severe weather, the South and North are experiencing varying degrees of it. Texas, on the other hand, is not as hit hard. All around the country, frigid weather is making its way. Little People, Big World star Amy Roloff has just updated her fans on everything that's been happening. And it seems like the Pacific Northwest is also enduring a terrible case of snow and ice. In consideration of the recent severe weather, Amy Roloff chose to update her Little People Big World fans from the scene. Amy shared a short video of her and her dog taking a trip around the neighborhood following a week of bad weather. Amy Roloff, who plays the role of the audience member, asserts that she warned them about the impending week of havoc. Among other things, power went out and trees crashed onto homes. For someone from Michigan, where bitterly cold weather is par for the course, Amy persisted in telling her followers that things were chaotic. From the short video that Amy Roloff shared with her fans of herself, walking her dog around her neighborhood, you would never guess that the previous week had been a stressful one. The little itty-bitty snow piles are the only remnants of the extreme weather, as Amy points out in her film. With the addition of "can't walk our two beagles yet because we still have snow," a commenter from Tennessee continued the narrative. That cold snap was the worst. Another fan from Washington State said, "Texas has had extremely cold weather." A fan from Texas captioned their post, specifically in the 1920s and 1930s. The temperature is finally rising, and it's in the 40s and 59s presently. This is just too chilly for me. This year's cold weather seems to be an issue practically everywhere. The cold weather has been a problem for everyone, regardless of where they live. Some areas have had it worse than others. But just like Amy's house, things seem to be improving little by little as February approaches, with the snowdrifts shrinking to a fraction of their former size. No more today. What are you thinking about this gossip today? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you.